Hey, what's going on, people? Your boy Man Mike coming at you guys with yet another Atlanta Falcons video. This is 3 reasons why the Atlanta Falcons are moving to a 34 defense, a 3-4 defense. For those who don't know, and this is the first reason why I believe that the Falcons are going to play more of a 3-4 style defense and base formations and some different sets, and that's going to be interesting to see more of aggressive style for the Atlanta Falcons. And the first reason, the first tale that I believe was essential. I thought it was absolutely see-through when the Falcons decided to bring in a guy like Marley Davidson. We're talking about Marley Davidson, a guy who has the ability of a Grady Jarrett. Now, stay with me. I'm not saying he's going to be a Grady Jarrett, but when you look at his ability, his size, Grady Jarrett, both those guys go around 280, about 280, 290, 290-ish. Those guys are pretty big. They're athletic. They can move around. Marley Davidson, when he played at Auburn with Derrick Brown, like, those guys were a dynamic duo. He played defensive end, he played inside, he played 3-tech-1. Like, this dude did everything at Auburn. So when you look at his ability and compare him to a Grady Jarrett, those guys, Grady Jarrett can move around. This is the thing that makes Grady Jarrett so dangerous as a defensive lineman. A guy like Aaron Donald, that's what makes them so freaking dangerous. They have the speed, they have the athleticism to not only just play defensive tackle against lower guards and centers who aren't able to catch up with them and match the speed, the power. Marley Davidson has that ability. So when you have a guy like Grady Jarrett who's a mismatch problem, and you have a guy like Marley Davidson who has that ability and needs to be coached well and put in a system where his skills can be maintained and matched and put in a position where he can succeed, get the best out of his ability. So when you have those, it causes a lot of issues, matchment issues with not only linebackers but the players that are around them. So Marley Davidson was the first tale for me, man. I thought that was a huge tale that the Falcons could definitely be using more of a 3-4 system. And not only that, when you look at this, all right, I think this is a huge, all right, this is another tale for the Atlanta Falcons. This is the second one. Falcons have some big receivers. They have big corners to match up with receivers like Michael Thomas, guys like Mike Evans. These guys are big, humongous. I'm talking about physical receivers who have to, all right, you have to have big corners. You have to have that ability to tackle well. And when you look at Isaiah Oliver, I think he's we kind of showcased this last year, how the Falcons should and would be using a guy like Isaiah Oliver against guys like Michael Thomas. Playing against the New Orleans Saints, man, he shadowed Michael Thomas for the most part, and he did quite well. And I was proud of what the Atlanta Falcons did with Isaiah Oliver, shadowing him around with big physical receivers, kind of keep those shifty receivers away from him until, I'm at a position where I am satisfied with safety, the issues with our safeties as far as Ricardo Allen, Keanu Neal, and DeMonte Casey. These guys play more consistent in the system that we need them. In cover 3, the Falcons still will play a lot of cover 3, but being with there's a new shift in the defensive schemes, as far as Raheem Morris being the guy who's more of a cover 2 system, cover 2 defensive play caller. He loves to use that play call, cover 2 scheme. You go back to his days as a Buck, even in Washington, they play a lot of cover 2. And when you don't have that guy, that free safety who's like an Earl Thomas, who can basically fly all over the field, there's going to be some issues as far as your coverage is concerned. So what the Falcons can do is kind of cut the field off and have those guys play more of a 2-man system. All right, play cover 2. And you have a guy in the middle with Deion Jones who can cover the middle. Foye Oluokun, those guys are athletic enough to maintain the middle. But guys like Isaiah Oliver can play to their strengths, and that's pressing corners, getting physical with the wide receivers, and let your safeties and your linebackers do what they do best, and that's go after the ball. So Isaiah Oliver, I was pleased with the Falcons did with him. Bleedy Ray Wilson is another guy that I think a lot of people are not really paying it a lot of attention to, giving a lot of respect to. Kendall Sheffield is another guy. Like, this guy has me so excited, man. I think the Falcons have a very good corner. His ability, his range, his speed, his toughness. I think he's a pretty good tackler. He's physical. He likes to get physical. He has some technique issues that these guys are going to get worked out. But like, these are some big physical cornerbacks, man, who can go against these receivers like Michael Thomas and Mike Evans, man. Darqueze Dennard is another guy you have in the middle. Former first rounder himself, and again, man, he plays in the slot. This is another cornerback that is physical. He can play physical. He is a guy that knows how to play against these short, shifty receivers. And look, man, when these Falcons need to tackle, I think he's going to be one of the best guys. And AJ Terrell, I think AJ Terrell is going to be poised to be a star. I truly believe that he's going to come to Atlanta and do what we need best for him. And that's the matchup with these shifty receivers like a Odell Beckham. These guys who are just supreme route runners. I think AJ Terrell is he's going to have a lot to work with as far as in camp, going up against guys like Julio Jones and Calvin Ridley, who's a route running specialist himself. He's going to be tested, so he's going to be ready for the season. So the Falcons corners are definitely going to be tested this year, and I think this is another reason why I feel as though that the Falcons are going to be going to a 3-4 and match up against the corners. The corners are going to be able to help these guys with run support. All right, this is another huge aspect in the cover two scheme that your corners have to have the ability. So with these big receivers, these big corners, man, the Falcons are definitely going to have these guys as a run support. And the third and final one is, man, Michael Walker is a guy that I think who is a more athletic Devondre Campbell, who lost in free agency and whatnot. He's going to be a blitzer, a guy who's going to be more physical. He's going to get after the quarterback. Deion Jones, we already know Deion Jones and 4-year Olakun. Those guys are definitely cover guys. They have the speed. They can get after the ball. Deion Buchanan is another small, speedy receiver. Linebacker slash safety. He can definitely cover a short span, a short area, and having that guy is going to tremendously help this Falcons tackling ability. And not only that, it's just going to be able to use these guys in different ways and coverage, but more importantly, blitzing. This is something that Jeff Ulbrich likes to do. So with these three things, man, let me know what you guys think about this list, man. Continue to support your boy here at Mad Mike Sports. But your boy Mad Mike is out, man. Peace. Hey, don't forget that subscribe button. I'm gone, baby.